Yeah. You're happy about what's happening to Game Battles too?
No, I'm happy about talking about it.
Okay.
Because I have
fair.
I have plenty of things to say.
Yeah,
Like
you do have a lot to say. Yeah.
Yeah, like for Game Battles, I used to play that growing up, like between 2005 to like
Yeah.
2012.
I will say
I used to play it all the time.
Yeah, I did as well, like late or early 2010s, right? Yeah, very sad news. However, I will say I believe you mentioned this in the podcast before about Game Battles and MLG and what the Activision
Literally
Blizzard acquisition from
2 weeks
Microsoft
ago.
could mean. Yeah,
Yeah,
like they should do something with it, right?
100%.
Well, they're not doing the thing we necessarily want, Mike.
No, they're not actually.
Yeah. Anyways, Dexerto, I get this article from Activision Blizzard closes Game Battles as esports division cuts continue. Oh, Jeremy Gann. Dexerto. Game Battles is shutting down as Activision Blizzard continues to cut its esports division following the closure of the Overwatch League. On New Year's Eve 2015, it was announced that MLG, one of the biggest esports tournament organizers in the world, had been acquired by Activision Blizzard to build up their esports arm, namely with franchise leagues in Overwatch and Call of Duty. However, 2023 marks the last year the OWL, as Activision Blizzard announced, cuts to their esports division, leaving questions up in the air about the future of Overwatch and, to an extent, Call of Duty esports. Now, as esports winter continues to chill, Game Battles, an iconic community platform and one of the longest-running online tournament organizers, is shutting down as well. Game Battles community, they tweeted. After careful consideration, we have decided to shut down the Game Battles platform and service as of January 15th, 2024. If you have any questions about your account or the shutdown, please visit our support site at gamebattles.majorleaguegaming.com/support. And also Game Battles Twitter page. Pretty much just reading the tweet back again. The shutdown was elaborated on by Chris, MLG Chris, who was the operations supervisor of Game Battles, a longtime member of MLG. Our team learned yesterday that Activision Blizzard has decided to shut down Game Battles, the last remaining branch of MLG, by mid-January. The entire team at Game Battles has been notified we're being let go as part of the closure. The post is very long, much longer than what I read, but I won't click into it just yet.
Yeah.
There's a little more in this article, so he continued on by saying, this didn't have to happen. There's so much untapped potential with MLG, Game Battles, and the future of esports.
Yes.
I hope one
100%.
day, and Mike agrees, okay. I hope one day MLG and Game Battles get the attention they deserve. Not for me or anyone who worked there, but for the amazing community they created.
100%.
Very well said, right?
100%, dude. Like, I don't know what happened after Activision Blizzard ended up buying MLG. None of it makes sense because they never really used it. I think they just tried to build the overall infrastructure to try to implement it into their CDL and also Overwatch League. And then when both of them essentially imploded, Activision Blizzard's like, well, I guess all of this is trash. It's like, bro, like Game Battles was there before Face It. And I think so. That might be a bold statement. We might need to look that one up. But they've been there forever. And they're really, really good. They had a dedicated forum. I mean, nobody uses forum. Everybody uses Discord now. Mediums change, right?
Yeah.
But like Game Battles can adapt. And Game Battles is such a good concept. And the overall like Major League Gaming where you have multiple esports titles under one giant league, like in different umbrellas. It's fascinating to me. I did like how, which continues on the article, is when Adam Apicella ended up talking more about in detail of what like Game Battles and MLG brought for him and what it brought for the rest of the community and what you can actually like accomplish with it, and how Activision Blizzard kind of dropped the ball. I mean, Chris is absolutely right. It's like there's a lot of things that they really could have used MLG for. MLG used to be on USA Network on cable television early in the morning on Saturdays. Like,
quite literally,
dude, like what are you guys doing? Like, use the game, use the title.
I don't know.
Use the product.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll continue on the article a little bit, right? So Game Battles was largely responsible for the organization of multiple open circuit Tier 2 and 3 competitions in CDL Challengers, Warzone, Overwatch, and Call of Duty Mobile for Activision Blizzard. Multiple interested parties have publicly put up offers to salvage the brand, including former MLG head and esports engine founder Adam Apicella. Whether or not Activision Blizzard is interested in selling the property, however, remains to be seen. they should. You know what I'm saying? Like if they don't want it, they should.
I don't know. Like, so one of the things that's kind of crazy about MLG is it actually I didn't really find out until about 22. I found only like 5 years ago. MLG still owns the rights to certain esports teams
Yeah.
and their likeness. So like the ambush logo or uh the straight ribbon logo and stuff like that. That's actually was originally owned by MLG. I think they allowed the licensing to go back to like Tom Taylor T Squared so that he can partner up with the space station. Shout out to Space Station, the merch that you're holding right now or wearing. But the like I feel like it MLG is still a huge brand and they still have a lot of proprietary copyright that they can still use or hold on to that's going to be very valuable in the future. It's almost like holding on to patents, I think, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I certainly agree. I know, I know you have experience with game battles. I do too, you know. Old,
Yeah.
like I said, early 2010s, whenever, like, you know, whenever COD was, like, you know, at its peak, arguably, I think it was when
Yeah.
the boys and I would run, we would just look on game battles and we would just run matches, like, all night. I remember we did that
For
so many times. We
ages.
did that for hours and hours and hours and days. It's like,
Yeah,
it's
man.
crazy to think about looking back. Like we definitely put like at least hundreds of hours into that. Just like playing competitive matches outside of like, because it really wasn't like a ranked mode until what, Black Ops 2 for Call of Duty. So it
Yeah.
was like
Oh, yeah.
before then, it's like if you want to play competitive games, it's like, all right, let's go on game battles. That's all you really had, right?
Yeah,
So
that's true. It's perfect for like, yeah, what they're saying, tier 2, tier 3 competitions and stuff. Tier 3 being like just pick up games, tier 2 being like semi-pro teams
yeah,
that are licensed, like partnered up. But I think the untapped potential, it's kind of dicey because it's like I mentioned Discord earlier. More and more people are moving now to PC. They're not just on console anymore. And now they can be on Discord. Discord's now integrated to the consoles. So you can have communities where they have these bots controlling everything and they have like their own ranking system. You can find like the more you play, the more you report your matches, the better rank that you get or worse rank. Kind of like a skill-based matchmaking system, but everybody there's to be at like the top level.
yeah,
Rocket League is a fantastic example of this. There's Rocket League servers that have some of the best spots I've ever seen where they'll take your in-game ranking and then they'll separate that into their game system and then you have to fight your way up in the ranks. And then when you get to the top of the ranks, you're literally facing like actual pro players that are on the main circuit, like on major teams, as long as like you're good enough to keep up with them. It's a really good training ground, I think, for people that are trying to be professional gamers. So I
yeah.
wonder if something like that Discord is going to take over, but I think game battles can integrate it, you know?
Oh yeah. I think like, you know, it's just around this like the nostalgia of the game battles brand. I would hate to see it go, and it kind of sucks to see it go in this context.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, it'd be cool
Yeah.
to see it like come back in a certain way. But yeah, I mean, it's like now. I mean, it's so funny because and kind of ironic because now it's like public matches and like shooters now are so like heavily skill based matchmaking. It's like not even ranked, right? Like if you're
Yeah.
playing ranked, it's not really like ranked is what it is, but like public matches are also ranked to a certain extent.
That's true. Skill-based matchmaking, I think, has taken away some of the fun, though, because like it's the general public
Well, that's what I'm
playing with you.
saying. Like it's that's why I say it's ironic because it's like these public social games are turning into ranked
Yeah,
games, right? Like, which is
yeah,
annoying.
it is because I think that's one thing that the developers don't understand is that there's two different levels of like competitive gaming. There's like the people that just want to be better and just win matches, and then there's just the straight up well, I mean, there's more levels, but here's kind of the extreme of the competitive, like casually competitive, where you're just trying to go into rank up your number, like feel good about it, and like get the wins. Right? I totally get that. But then there's just straight up degen level behavior where they grind for like 14 hours straight and all they care about is being the best person that's ever played the game, period, which is a different mentality altogether, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like they're just like, oh, yeah, well, you guys basically play the same, so you can be in the same lobby. It's just like, no, they're not the same.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, it's so true. It's like that same mindset. Remember that video I sent you yesterday? Like, so you saw,
Yeah.
it's kind of like that. He touched on that in that video, kind of just like, yeah, it's like, you know, It's so weird the matchups you get now because it's like you'll be playing
Oh yeah,
against people like basement dwellers who are like going so hard. It's
oh
like you're
yeah.
just like, why am I here? Like,
Yeah, it's like, bro, I'm like, I just got home from work. I'm trying to decompress, and I just want to shoot some things. Like, I'm
yeah,
not trying to like just insta spawn dead, like, because I played really well last night. You know?
yeah. So it is
Yeah,
though when you start getting
it
good.
yeah, it's very frustrating when that happens, but it's part of it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is. It'd be nice to have like keep this. It'd be nice if like socials were socials again, and then we could have like a separate service, like either a ranked mode or like we could, if you really wanted to like get a ranking in something, you could have like a game battles or something to go into and like play.
You know what's you know what I think is going to be ironic? So I think that they got rid of MLG and game battles because of skill-based matchmaking. I think that's just across the board. Most games now all have some type of hidden MMR like system to make it so it's always sweaty and you're always playing against people and your win-loss percentage is always going to be 50%. Okay. I get that from a psychological standpoint. If you win 10 times in a row, you get bored, you stop playing. If you lose 10 times in a row, you get frustrated, you stop playing. But if you win like two in a row, lose one, win one, and then lose three, and it's like they try to keep you psychologically searching for that high of like, I got to get that win, right? But the irony is that's becoming so frustrating because everybody now understands what's happening. So
Yeah,
they're like now going back to custom games, which is what game battles should be. So
yeah,
it's like,
totally.
yeah. And when it ends up being like that, it's like, well, you just got rid of it, and now you're kind of making a new policy. Wish we had it to go
Yeah,
back to customs,
yeah,
set teams, and make things as evenly as possible and fun as possible.
yeah. It's very true. Yeah, no. And now it's
Yeah.
like you're doing your own game battles nowadays. You're trying to those custom games going.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing in these Halo Discord servers that I'm all in.
Yeah,
It's like we just try to make the teams as evenly as possible to have as much fun as possible. We'll do like best of 11s. And it's like if we do the first best of 3 and it's a slaughter for one team, we're like, all right, somebody propose a switch, and then we'll keep the series going. So
yeah.
yeah,
Kind of
try
sick.
to
Kind of
keep
sick.
people. Yeah, you don't want people losing all the time. You want them to have fun.
Yeah.
But we've ran into